So this set of notes is oxidation numbers. There is a set of notes in Schoology for you to follow or take your own. You know the drill. All right, so we're going to be talking about reduction-oxidation reactions in this unit, which we haven't talked about before. And so in order to get us to be able to do that, the most useful thing to deal with when we're talking about reduction and oxidation is something called the oxidation number. It's going to help us out an awful lot. Oxidation numbers are related to charge of ions and charge of species, but it's not the exact same. So for various chemical processes, we assign oxidation numbers to each element in a neutral compound or charged entity. It's a form of bookkeeping that allows us to determine how many electrons are transferred in a process, because as we will learn, redox reactions are all about electron transfer. This is going to be useful later on this unit as we get into redox and electrochemistry. All right. So, bunch of rules for assigning oxidation numbers. So, elements in their elemental form have an oxidation number of 0. Okay, it doesn't matter which state of matter it is. For example, hydrogen as an element has an oxidation number of 0. Pure copper, metal, just sitting there, has an oxidation number of 0. Okay. Second thing, the oxidation number of a monatomic ion is the same as its charge. So for example, the sodium ion has an oxidation number of 1. The oxygen ion has an oxidation number of -2. Okay. Nonmetals in a compound tend to have negative oxidation numbers, although some are positive in certain compounds or ions. So let's talk about nonmetals for a second. They tend to be negative. Two important rules for this. Oxygen has an oxidation number of -2, which is typically what we think of as its charge, except for if it's part of the peroxide ion. And again, the peroxide ion is O2 - 2, at which point it has an oxidation number of -1. Okay. Hydrogen has an oxidation of -1 when it's bonded to a metal, and +1 when it's bonded to a nonmetal. So, for example, in HCl, that's bonded to a nonmetal, it would have a positive ion, or +1 oxidation number. Sodium hydride, okay, it would have a -1 because it's bonded to a metal. All right. Other nonmetals we need to be aware of. Fluorine always has an oxidation number of -1. All of the other halogens, chlorine, bromine, etc., also have a -1 oxidation number when they are negative. However, they can have positive oxidation numbers, most notably when they are part of oxyanions. For example, if we think about the chlorate ion, okay? So in a chlorate ion, we know that oxygen is always -2. That's a rule, okay? So if I have 3 oxygens altogether, that would be a oxidation number of -6, okay? And so in order to make the overall charge -1, chlorine would have a charge of +5. So again, halogens, when we put them into oxyanions, so in other words, polyatomic ions that include oxygen, can end up with a positive oxidation number. Right? In a neutral compound, the sum of the oxidation numbers is 0. Okay, so for example, in NaCl, this would be +1, that would be -1. They add up to 0. Sum of oxidation numbers in a polyatomic ion is the charge of the ion. We did that in the last slide with ClO3 -1. So again, this was -2 times 3, and that was +5 to get us to -1. All right, so with those rules, go ahead and try this on the left side of your notes. Determine the oxidation number of sulfur in H2S, S8, SCl, Na2SO3, and SO4. When you're done with those, come on back here and we'll go through them one at a time. All right, so here are your answers. So let me run through them real quickly. Okay, so the very first one is H2S. Okay, So we know that hydrogen is always a positive 1 when it's attached to a nonmetal. So that means if I've got 2 hydrogens, that's an overall deal of +2 here. So that means the sulfur, in order to add up to 0, has to be -2. Okay, that's the first one. Second one, S8, that's an elemental form of sulfur. So that's got to be 0. SCl2, okay, halogens are -1 unless they are attached to something that is usually an oxyanion. So Cl -2, that means that the sulfur here has to be +2 to balance that out. Okay. Na2SO3. Okay. This sulfur is part of the sulfite ion, which is SO3 -2. Okay. So in this particular case, we know that oxygen is -2 for an overall -6. So the sulfur has to be a +4 in order to get a -2 altogether out of this. Okay, +4. And then the sodiums, of course, are each +1, so that balances out the rest of that charge. And last but not least, SO4 -2. Oxygens are always -2, so this would be an overall -8. So what do I need to take with the add to the -8 to get an overall charge of -2? It's got to be +6. All right, so that's what you need to know about assigning oxidation numbers.